Hey, what's up? This is Jerry Robertson with Roberts Racing, and this is my 1992 Skyline GTSt. Did that even say Nissan? I think anybody that drifts or anybody that likes Japanese cars, JDM cars in general, is gonna like. Everybody likes Skylines. I mean, it's one of those cars that we kind of grew up with, and like Fast and Furious, and like it was always this like unobtainable car nobody could have because they weren't legal in the United States yet. There's a point where I had a C5 Corvette actually, and so I had that for a few years, and this was before the Corvette craze. People like, it was just kind of like an old man's car at that time. It was like 2016, 2017. At the time, I was just kind of looking for something newer, and I saw that Skylines had come out. A lot of these JDM cars had come out, and I, at the time, actually had like the money, like, why don't I just get one of these JDM cars? So I started looking for a Skyline. I'm looking at prices. They're all like around like 10 to 15,000, which I thought was a lot back then. So I ended up finding this one. A guy had recently just bought it from Right Hand Drive Specialties. It was like pretty much the month it became legal. He had bought it. He owned it for like 2 months. Really didn't do anything to it, honestly. I think he put like some weather stripping on the doors. But other than that, he was selling it. I saw it for 12, and I was like, all right. It was just a really clean GTSt model. It had a GTR bumper on already. It just wasn't painted. But like it had, everything else is just GTSt Type M. So I ended up driving it, a little slow RB20 stock, everything stock on it. I ended up being like, yeah, I'm gonna get this. So I ended up getting it. I sold my vet very shortly after. This car originally was from Right Hand Drive Specialties, and so it actually is like a dual imported car. So original from Japan. Somebody imported it to Australia, and then it got imported from Australia to America. So I actually have like 2 VINs in here. I have my Australian one, and then I have the normal like Japanese one, because I get a whole different VIN number in Australia. And also that's why it has like these weird side marker lights, because I guess they're required in Australia. But yeah, that was kind of like just kind of a little cool thing. It still had the flare inside. If you ever have a JDM car, you know about that. So after I got it, like I said, it was just like a stock RB20 in it. It really had nothing done. I think there was like an Apexi intake filter on it or something. I had never had an RB before. I had worked on a couple of them. I always want RB. I love the sound of RBs. I just think they're amazing engines. Hell yeah. First thing, I was like, this thing's slow. So I was like, let's do a bottom out. So I did a bigger bottom out on it. I put like a GT2871 size turbo on it. Then I ended up getting a link for it. And so that was my first time ever getting a standalone. So it was like a lot to learn. It was fun though. Got it tuned on that bottom out with, let's see, 550cc injectors. And just on the link, and it made like 283 or something. So it was actually pretty good for like 15, 16 PSI. It made a pretty good amount of power for like literally my first time messing with it. It originally came on GTR, stock GTR wheels. Sold those for a decent amount. And my homie Jason Cruz, who's a part of Street Garage, he had these Panasport G7s, which these were some of my dream wheels back in the day, because like this was like, to me, is just like early 90s JDM, what we saw in like option videos and stuff like that, and like JDM Insider. It was funny because I had actually sold my GTR wheels the same day. So, and this was my daily at the time. I had this in my Suburban. So I was like, whatever, I'll just, leave this thing on jacks. Hopefully homie's gonna come through. But yeah, he came through, threw them on, and dude, they're 3-piece, Panasport G7s, which, I mean, it's very rare if you ever see them. They're pretty sick, honestly.
When I got it, it had a GTR wing and it had GTR front bumper. And so, but nothing was painted. This bumper right here was the first base coat, clear coat job I'd ever done in my life. Because I've been just using like single stage because I was still learning how to paint. So inside there, I have actually like a dash display that is, it's a tablet that has 2 USB ports in it, which are super rare to come by now. But I run a inverter inside my glove compartment that goes to 12 volt. And then this thing gets power from that. And then my other USB on it goes to my ECU. So I have basically the Link software up with all my gauges on it, all in live like time. So it's pretty cool. I don't need gauges or anything. Like I think I got like a boost gauge in there and a wideband, but other than that, everything else comes up on that display and it charges with the inverter. So like you don't never have to worry about charging. It's a pretty cool little thing I did. And also you can tune it from there too. There's been so many times I've like changed my boost tables just on that thing while driving just to make the car a little faster. This is a little secret for people. The GTSt is on GTR hood. So the hood, I looked at GTR hood prices, and bro, they were like $1,200, $1,400 for like dented hoods, and there was just no way that I was gonna run that. So I saw something on some forum, and some dude had cut it right where the GTR hood would end, and so he had cut the GTSt hood, and then you use a Nismo. There's like these little Nismo wings that go on the front of the hoods for GTRs. So I got a GTR grill, a little Nismo wing thing on the front, and nobody knows that it's a GTSt hood until they lift it up because it's like 5,000 pounds. I've always loved the look of a GTR, right? I just didn't really want an all-wheel drive car. Like I wanted this thing to still be rear-wheel drive. From there, I had the RB20 still at the time, and then I wanted some more power. I was making like 280, like I said, and I was like, I want to go top mount. So I had just done a top mount in my SR, so that's why I wanted to go top mount on this. And so I did top mount on the RB20, put some bigger injectors in it. We made a 400 with this thing, and that was at like 21 PSI on RB20. And honestly, so reliable. After that, not a single issue. I think I had a spark plug, what's it called? I had a spark plug coil pack go out. You know, I was running Audi R8 coil packs on it, so they were cheap. They're like 30 bucks at the store. And actually, I had it like that, honestly, until like 2021. Just a nice street car. It was my daily. It's basically anything. I just drove this. So I had the RB20 top mount, 400 horsepower for a while. I liked it. I was starting to get bored, and I knew that pretty much for an RB20, yeah, I could build a motor, make a little bit more power, but that's kind of like the limits on like what you want to run on an RB20, honestly, to have like just a fun street car. You know, I had thought about obviously doing a different swap. RB26 was never in my price budget that I ever would think I'd have. A little bit after COVID, and I saw a guy selling. And I think Jason Cruz actually told me about it. So, dude, the homie's always been the homie, for real. But Jason Cruz had bought some wheels from this guy, like some nice 3-piece wheels. And he's like, dude, this guy has an RB26. He has an RB25 trans with it. Like, he's trying to sell it for like dirt cheap. And I hit this guy up, and he was out in Gig Harbor. He was a Navy dude, and he was getting sent to another base and just had to get rid of all his crap. So I went over there with like, God, I think I had like 2,500 bucks. And so, like, originally, I was just going to buy the motor. He said, this is a RB26, you know, has Nismo twins on it. You know, I got it from Japan. I never used it. It was going to go in this car, blah, blah, blah. But he ended up selling it like $2,400. I got a full RB26, Nismo twin, and then he sold me an RB25 trans for like $400, which was insane. So I got all this stuff for like a steal. Then I'm like super excited. I take it home, and I pull this RB26 out, put on the engine stand. I just start taking it apart. So I'm like, you know what? It's an old motor. I'll take it apart and kind of like clean it up. New head gasket. The guy didn't know like any of the like any of what was done to it. Just knew it had Nismo twins. Also, my plan was like, I don't want twins, because once I saw how the twins coolant and like vacuum lines are routed, I'm like, bro, this is too much. Like, we don't need all this big single turbo. So I ended up taking the twins off. You know, I took the oil pan off. That's worth a lot of money. So I ended up taking all these parts off the car or off the engine, and I made like almost like $5,000 just selling that stuff. But here's the kicker. So I get this thing, put it on my engine stand. First thing I did was take the oil pan off, right? All this water just came out, and I'm like, what the hell? It's all just brown, gross, disgusting water. I'm like, okay. And it smelled terrible. So I'm like, all right, definitely taking the head off now. So take the head off, and there was only 5 pistons in it. There was 6 rods, but there was 5 pistons. I don't know, honestly, what happened to this motor originally. The guy didn't know either. He just had it imported that way. So I don't know if somebody was in the middle of a build on it or what, because they were OEM pistons, OEM rods. There was just one that literally, it wasn't broken or anything. There was just, the rod had no piston. I was just sitting in there on the bearing, which was strange. Also, the thing is filled with all this nasty water. So for pretty much what I think happened, it was one of those motors in those crates during the tsunami in Japan. And so I think the whole thing was just filled up with water for a long time. And I don't know if that guy knew that or not, because he sold all this stuff for dirt cheap, honestly. And I wasn't mad because, I mean, I made a bunch of money selling the parts off it. So then I was like, cool, I'm gonna build an RB26. Like, we're gonna have like a super cool street car. It was pretty sweet. I loved it. I was happy. I was like, cool, I have a 26, my R32 GTSt. Everybody thinks it's a GTR. I even had this little custom badge made for the back that looks like GTR, but it says GTST. You know, I ain't trying to funk the funk of, or I ain't trying to fake the funk of, you know, having a GTST, because I think it's actually cooler to have a GTST with RB26 in it. It's just the best of both worlds to me. Yeah, after that, I'm like daily driving it. I took it on trips. I was stoked on it, but I just got selfish and I wanted even more power, because I knew the 26 could make more power. I wanted like 600. So I started messing around with boost tables, turning boost up. I had it probably making around 550, maybe 6. I don't know the exact number because I never got it retuned after that. But you know, I went from like, I think we made like 500 at like 15 PSI, and I went up, put it to like 20 PSI. But I drove it like that for like 2 months. I was loving it. And one day I was just coming home from work. I did like a small pool, and I was coming off of doing the pool, and all of a sudden I seen all this white smoke behind my car, and everything was dead on the car. I was on the highway probably going like 80. I had just worked a 12-hour shift too. I was tired. My roommate came, grabbed me, flat-tailed this thing back to my house. Immediately get it in the shop, and I just started pulling spark plugs, and a whole spark plug is just decimated. It's gone. Like, it's flat at the top. There's no, there's just nothing. It's so messed up. So I'm like, something good's not happening, or something good did not happen. At that point, you know, I think it was like right before the weekend actually. So pulled the motor out, pulled the head off. So like I said, if you remember, this was like a tsunami motor. This thing had water sitting in it for God knows how long. Basically, when I turned the power up, the cylinder wall actually broke. So once that broke, then everything else went with it. So yeah, at that point, I'm like pretty devastated, because I just like blew up this extremely expensive motor. The head was kind of messed up too, so I ended up having to take it somewhere, getting the head fully repaired. I had to rebuild the whole entire head. I actually had them weld part of where the seat like was messed up on the valve, and they, I don't know, did some magic, made it happen. And I was very lucky, but I ended up finding another RB26 block at the time, and just a short block. And so I ended up buying that, probably because my head took a while to get built. So probably like a month and a half, 2 months later, but I had another 26 back in there. Then I just said, you know what, I'm not gonna mess with this. This thing's still in pump gas too. So, you know, I just got it retuned, made 500, and like, I'm just like, I'll keep it here. Same setup with the turbo and all that other stuff. But then I ended up finding an RB28, which is, it's a RB26 that's stroked with, or has a June stroker kit on it. So I actually drove all the way to Idaho in my Genesis at the time. I drove all the way to Idaho, and I picked up this bottom end, RB28 bottom end. And I currently have that right now. It's sitting on my engine stand. And I honestly, I probably need to build it, but everything else gets in the way now. I just focus on drifting so much. I mean, all it really needs is some pistons, and it's literally it's ready to go. Having this for when I throw this in, I'm gonna throw that on just because honestly, these hold more oil. They're better in every way. They're better baffling and all that. So one day I'll get back to that car. I want this car to be like on E85 flex fuel, and I want it to make like a nice 700 horsepower, and I think that would just be like perfect for the street for what it is. My favorite part of the car, I think we're all gonna know which part that is. That's the RB. As much people that hate RBs, good Lord, I don't know why. They're fantastic motors. I mean, they're just like everything else. They got some oiling issues. So do SRs, so do LSs, you know. Yeah, we get it, JZs don't. But, you know, there's just a little bit of stuff that has to be changed on the motor and make it reliable. A good tune also goes a long way. I mean, like, this thing's sweet. I love this thing. It revs out to like 79, 8,000 or whatever, and it rips. Like, this thing is fun as hell. I mean, and the sound of an RB, you know, I can say that a JZ is like a better motor than an RB. I think all of us can say it's a stronger motor, you know, tit for tat. But at the same time, it ain't a better sounding motor. It will never be a better sounding motor. You guys can act like it is, but it is not. The RB26, RB series in general, are probably some of the greatest sounding motors ever in existence. And at least, you know, you can give that to the RB. But, you know, and like this is in a street car, so I'm not like crazy beating on it and stuff. So I haven't ever lost an RB. Like, I mean, I did have one in my 350Z. I never blew up either. But hey, that is what it is. So I don't know. I've had good luck with RBs. It just took some research and getting everything down. And like, it really isn't that hard. I think, personally, I think working on RB is way easier than working on a JZ. I think these have more space. Everything about them I like more than working on a JZ. So my least favorite thing about this car is like the age of them, and like when they're imported, dude, like usually bushings are shot in them, fluids haven't been changed in forever. It's just like little stuff. I mean, like we're paying a lot of money for like these cars when like you'll have to replace like window, you know, trim pieces or like, you know, like seals and stuff because they go bad. But I mean, it is an older car at the same time, so it's mostly that. It's the stuff that breaks on this car is stuff like I don't think would break, and then it randomly will. So it's just like mostly chassis stuff. But this was a decently clean chassis, so it hasn't been like super bad, honestly. I've touched almost every single part of this car, so